What if I told you that your body can warn you days, weeks, or even months before a major stroke happens? What if the warning signs appear, then disappear, and most people ignore them? Today's video could save a life, maybe yours or someone you love, because we're talking about mini strokes, also known as transient ischemic attacks, or TIAs. These are not small problems. They are serious medical warnings that should never be ignored. Many people brush them off because the symptoms fade quickly. But medically speaking, a mini stroke is often the last warning before a full-blown, life-altering stroke. By the end of this video, you will understand what a mini stroke really is, why symptoms disappear but danger remains, who is most at risk, and most importantly, the early signs your body may be sending you. If you or someone you care about is over 40, has high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, or lives a stressful lifestyle, this video is for you. Before we dive in, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and let us know in the comments where you're watching from. Your support helps others who need this health information discover it, and it could truly make a difference in their lives. Let's start with the basics. A mini stroke, medically called a transient ischemic attack, TIA, happens when blood flow to part of the brain is temporarily blocked. Unlike a major stroke, the blockage is short-lived. Blood flow returns on its own. Symptoms usually last minutes to hours, rarely more than 24 hours. And that's exactly why TIAs are so dangerous. Because when the symptoms disappear, people think, "Oh, I'm fine now." But in reality, a mini stroke is your brain saying, "Next time, I may not recover." Why mini strokes are extremely dangerous. Here's a fact many people don't know. Police highlight up to 1 in 3 people who experience a mini stroke will later have a major stroke, often within days or weeks. A TIA is not harmless. It is a medical emergency. Think of it like this. A mini stroke is the earthquake warning tremor. The major stroke is the earthquake itself. Ignoring the tremor does not stop the earthquake. Why symptoms come and go? One of the most confusing things about mini strokes is that the symptoms don't last. Here's why. The blood clot or blockage dissolves or moves. Blood flow returns. Brain cells survive for now. But even though symptoms fade, damage may still be happening silently. That's why doctors take TIAs very seriously. Who is most at risk? You may think mini strokes only affect the elderly. That's not true. If you find this video helpful, please hit like, subscribe, and share in the comments where you're watching from. By doing so, you're helping others discover this important health advice. Your small action could truly save a life. People at higher risk include adults over 40, those with high blood pressure, people with diabetes, smokers, individuals with high cholesterol, people with heart rhythm problems, those under chronic stress, people with poor sleep habits. And yes, younger people can experience TIAs too, especially with modern lifestyle factors. Why many people miss the warning signs? Mini stroke symptoms are often sudden, mild, temporary, painless. This causes people to blame fatigue, blame stress, blame dehydration, blame poor sleep. Common reactions include, "It was nothing. It went away. I didn't want to overreact." Unfortunately, waiting can cost a life. Important note before we continue. Let me be very clear. Warning: if you or someone around you experiences any sudden neurological symptoms, even if they go away, seek medical attention immediately. Call emergency services. Do not wait for symptoms to return. Time saves brain cells. What's coming next? In the next part of this video, we'll start breaking down the actual warning signs of a mini stroke, starting with the most common and most ignored ones. Some of these signs may surprise you. Some may sound familiar, and one may explain something you or someone you know has already experienced. These are signs you should never ignore, even for a minute. Sudden face changes, speech problems, arm or leg weakness, vision disturbances. Before we continue, kindly like this video, subscribe, and tell us in the comments your location. Your support ensures that this vital health information reaches those who need it most. One of the clearest and most recognizable signs of a mini stroke is a sudden change in the face. This can include one side of the face drooping, a crooked smile, numbness or weakness on one side of the face, difficulty controlling facial muscles. You might notice it in the mirror, or someone else might point it out to you. A common test doctors use is very simple. Ask the person to smile. If one side doesn't move the same way as the other, that's a red flag. Even if the drooping lasts only a few minutes and then disappears, it still matters. Many people ignore this sign because it doesn't hurt. It goes away quickly. They think it's fatigue or a facial nerve issue. But sudden facial weakness is a classic neurological warning. Another major warning sign of a mini stroke is a sudden problem with speech. This can show up as slurred speech, trouble finding words, speaking incoherently, difficulty understanding others, saying the wrong words without realizing it. Sometimes the person knows what they want to say, but the words come out wrong. Others may sound confused or disoriented when speaking. A quick test. Ask the person to repeat a simple sentence. If they struggle, slur, or sound unusual, take it seriously. Speech problems during a mini stroke may last only a few minutes, but they indicate that the language centers of the brain were temporarily affected. And that means blood flow was disrupted. Sudden weakness in an arm or leg, especially on one side of the body, is another major mini stroke symptom. This can feel like heaviness in the arm or leg, loss of strength, difficulty lifting objects, trouble standing or walking, a feeling that the limb isn't listening. Many people describe it as, my arm just felt dead for a moment, or my legs suddenly felt weak and unstable. A common test. Ask the person to raise both arms. If one arm drifts downward or cannot be lifted properly, that's a warning sign. Again, even if strength returns quickly, do not ignore it. Vision changes are another frequently overlooked mini-stroke symptom. These may include sudden blurred vision, loss of vision in one eye, double vision, partial blindness, a dark curtain coming down over one eye. Some people describe it as a shadow passed over my eye. Others say, I couldn't see clearly for a few minutes. Because vision problems often resolve quickly, people assume eye strain, migraine, fatigue, dehydration, but sudden vision loss, especially in one eye, can indicate a TI affecting the blood vessels that supply the eye and brain. Doctors use a simple acronym to help people recognize stroke and mini-stroke symptoms quickly. It's called FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call emergency services. Even if symptoms disappear, time still matters. The risk does not go away. If any FAST symptom appears, even briefly, seek medical help immediately. Each of these symptoms points to a specific part of the brain being affected. When blood flow is interrupted, brain cells are deprived of oxygen. Nerve signals become disrupted. Function is temporarily lost. The fact that symptoms resolve does not mean the problem is solved. It means the brain was lucky this time. One of the most dangerous mistakes people make is waiting. They say, let's see if it happens again, or I'll mention it at my next doctor's appointment. Unfortunately, many major strokes occur within days of a mini stroke. The window for prevention is short. If you experience any of these symptoms, call emergency services immediately. Do not drive yourself. Do not wait for symptoms to return. Do not sleep it off. If you see these signs in someone else, act fast. Do not downplay it. Insist on medical evaluation. You could be saving a life. So far, we've covered the most obvious warning signs, but some mini-stroke symptoms are far more subtle, and these are the ones most people miss. Sudden dizziness and balance problems, confusion and memory disturbances, severe headaches with no clear cause, numbness and tingling sensations. These signs are quieter, but just as dangerous. Not all mini-stroke symptoms are dramatic or obvious. In fact, some of the most dangerous warning signs are the ones that feel mild, strange, or easy to explain away. These are the symptoms people often ignore until it's too late. Let's go through them carefully. Take a moment to like, subscribe, and share where you're watching from. Every click helps spread this health guidance to others, and it can make a real difference in someone's life. Sudden dizziness is one of the most commonly dismissed mini-stroke symptoms. People often say, I stood up too fast. It's probably vertigo. Maybe my blood pressure dropped. But a mini stroke can affect the part of the brain that controls balance, coordination, spatial awareness. This may cause sudden dizziness, feeling unsteady, trouble walking straight, loss of coordination, a spinning sensation not related to movement. You may feel like the room is moving or like your body isn't responding properly. Unlike normal dizziness, stroke-related dizziness comes on suddenly, feels intense, may be accompanied by other symptoms like vision problems or confusion. If dizziness appears out of nowhere and feels unusual, take it seriously. Another subtle but serious warning sign is sudden confusion. This can include difficulty understanding simple instructions, trouble following conversations, feeling mentally foggy, sudden disorientation, difficulty concentrating. Some people describe it as, "My mind just went blank for a moment." Others feel disconnected or not fully present. Because confusion can be caused by stress, fatigue, or anxiety, it's often brushed off. But sudden confusion, especially when combined with other neurological symptoms, is a red flag. It means the brain's processing centers may have been temporarily deprived of oxygen. Headaches are common, but stroke-related headaches are different. A mini-stroke headache may come on suddenly, feel severe or intense, have no clear cause, feel different from your usual headaches. Some people describe it as the worst headache of my life. Others feel a sharp, intense pressure in the head. While severe headaches are more commonly associated with hemorrhagic strokes, they can still occur during TIAs, especially when blood flow is disrupted suddenly. Never ignore a headache that appears suddenly, feels extreme, is accompanied by neurological symptoms. Sudden numbness or tingling, especially on one side of the body, is another mini-stroke warning sign. This can affect the face, the arm, the hand, the leg, one side of the mouth or tongue. It may feel like pins and needles, partial loss of sensation, a strange dead feeling. Many people mistake this for nerve compression, sleeping in the wrong position, poor circulation, but stroke-related numbness comes on suddenly, affects one side, may involve the face and limb together. Even if the sensation fades, the warning remains. Because these symptoms are painless, are temporary, can be explained away. People delay care, but every delay increases the risk of a major stroke. Studies show that the highest risk of a full stroke is within the first 48 hours after a TIA, within the first 90 days overall. Time matters more than comfort or embarrassment. Imagine this. You wake up feeling dizzy. Your vision blurs for a minute. Your arm feels slightly numb. 5 minutes later, everything feels normal. Do you go back to bed? Ignore it? Wait and see? Or do you seek help? Too many people choose the first option and regret it later. This is an important reminder. Mini-stroke is not diagnosed based on how you feel after the symptoms. It's diagnosed based on what happened, how suddenly it started, which neurological functions were affected. Doctors would rather evaluate 10 false alarms than miss one real warning. So far, we've covered all 8 major warning signs of a mini-stroke. But now comes the most important part. What causes mini-strokes? Why do they happen? And what increases your risk? Before we dive into the underlying causes of mini-strokes, the role of blood pressure, cholesterol, and lifestyle, why some people are more vulnerable than others. Let's take a moment to like, subscribe, share where you're watching from. Every click helps spread this health guidance to others, and it could make a real difference in someone's life. Now that we've covered the warning signs, the next critical question is, why do many strokes happen in the first place? Understanding the cause is essential because mini strokes are often preventable once the risk factors are addressed. A mini stroke occurs when blood flow to part of the brain is temporarily reduced or blocked. This usually happens due to a small blood clot, narrowed blood vessels, plaque buildup in arteries, irregular heart rhythms. Even a brief interruption in blood supply could disrupt brain function. The brain uses about 20% of the body's oxygen, so it is extremely sensitive to blood flow changes. Let's break down the most common underlying causes. High blood pressure, hypertension, is the #1 risk factor for many strokes and major strokes. Over time, high blood pressure damages blood vessel walls, makes arteries stiff and narrow, increases the risk of clots forming. The danger is that high blood pressure often has no symptoms. Many people don't know they have it until a stroke happens. That's why it's often called the silent killer. #2 is high cholesterol. Excess cholesterol can build up along artery walls, forming plaque. This plaque narrows the arteries, restricts blood flow, can rupture and form clots. When this happens in arteries supplying the brain, it can trigger a TIA. #3 is heart rhythm disorders, atrial fibrillation. Certain heart rhythm problems, especially atrial fibrillation, greatly increase stroke risk. In atrial fibrillation, the heart beats irregularly. Blood can pool inside the heart. Clots may form and travel to the brain. Many people with atrial fibrillation don't feel symptoms, making it particularly dangerous. #4 is diabetes. Diabetes damages blood vessels and increases inflammation. Over time, high blood sugar thickens blood vessel walls, increases clot risk, accelerates plaque buildup. People with diabetes are much more likely to experience mini strokes and major strokes. #5 is smoking and tobacco use. Smoking damages blood vessels, raises blood pressure, increase cloformation, reduces oxygen in the blood. Even secondhand smoke increases stroke risk. Quitting smoking is one of the most powerful stroke prevention steps you can take. Medical conditions aren't the only contributors. Daily habits matter too. Some lifestyle factors increase risk, like chronic stress. Long-term stress raises blood pressure, increases inflammation, disrupts sleep, encourages unhealthy coping behaviors. Stress doesn't directly cause strokes, but it creates the conditions that make them more likely. Poor diet. Diets high in salt, processed foods, sugary drinks, trans fats, increase blood pressure, cholesterol, and weight, all of which raise stroke risk. Lack of physical activity. A sedentary lifestyle, sous-circulation, promotes weight gain, raises blood pressure, increases insulin resistance. Even light daily activity can dramatically reduce stroke risk. Age and genetics. While age increases risk, many strokes are not limited to the elderly. Risk increases after age 40, with family history of stroke or heart disease. Genetics may load the gun, but lifestyle pulls the trigger. Mini stroke is a warning, not a diagnosis. It's not the final problem, it's a signal. It tells doctors there is an underlying issue. Blood flow is compromised. A major stroke is possible. The good news? Once identified, the risk can often be significantly reduced. Now that you understand the causes and risk factors, the next question is critical. What should you do if you experience a mini stroke or suspect one has occurred? If there's one message you remember from this entire video, let be this. A mini stroke is a medical emergency, even if the symptoms disappear. What you do in the minutes and hours after a TIA can determine whether a major stroke happens next or is completely prevented. Let's talk about exactly what to do. Step 1. Seek emergency medical care immediately. If you experience any mini stroke symptoms, face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty, vision loss, dizziness, confusion, numbness, do not wait. Do not sleep it off. Do not assume it was stress or fatigue. Call emergency services or go to the nearest hospital immediately. Even if the symptoms last only 30 seconds, 2 minutes, 10 minutes, it still counts. Why speed matters so much? The risk of a major stroke is highest shortly after a mini stroke. Research shows the first 24 to 48 hours are the most dangerous. Many major strokes occur within days. Early treatment can reduce risk by up to 80%. That's not a small difference. That's life-changing. Step 2. Medical evaluation and tests. Once you arrive at the hospital, doctors may run several tests. These are not just routine. They are life-saving investigations. Common tests include brain imaging, CT scan, or MRI, to check for damage or blocked vessels. Blood tests, to assess cholesterol, blood sugar, clotting factors. Heart tests, ECG, echocardiogram, to detect rhythm problems like atrial fibrillation. Ultrasound of neck arteries, to check for narrowing or plaque buildup. Each test helps doctors find the cause, not just treat the symptom. Step 3. Starting preventive treatment. Treatment after a mini stroke focuses on prevention. Depending on the cause, doctors may prescribe blood-thinning medications, cholesterol-lowering drugs, blood pressure medication, diabetes management plans. These treatments dramatically reduce the chance of a future stroke. Skipping them, or delaying treatment, puts you at serious risk. What not to do after a mini stroke. This is critical. Do not ignore symptoms because they resolved. Self-diagnose. Rely on home remedies alone. Delay seeing a doctor. Stop prescribed medication without advice. Mini strokes are not something to monitor and see. They require action. A common and dangerous myth. Many people believe, if it was serious, it wouldn't have gone away. This is false. Many strokes go away because blood flow returns, not because the problem is gone. The underlying cause remains unless treated. Why follow-up care is essential. After initial treatment, follow-up care matters just as much. This may include regular blood pressure monitoring, lifestyle changes, medication adjustments, stroke prevention programs. Consistency saves lives. Emotional reactions are normal. After a mini stroke, many people feel fear, anxiety, guilt, confusion. These feelings are normal, but fear should not lead to denial. It should lead to prevention and protection. Now that you know what to do in an emergency, the final step is learning how to reduce your risk moving forward. If you've stayed with me until now, you've already taken a powerful step toward protecting your health, or the health of someone you love. Because while many strokes are serious, the good news is this. Backhand index pointing right, most major strokes can be prevented. Let's talk about how to lower your risk after a mini stroke, or before one happens. Prevention is not about perfection. It's about consistent, smart choices. Number 1, control of blood pressure. High blood pressure is the biggest controllable stroke risk factor and your top priority. Check your blood pressure regularly. Reduce salt intake. Manage stress. Take prescribed medication consistently are simple steps that help. Even small reductions in blood pressure can significantly reduce stroke risk. 2. Protect your heart. Your heart and brain are deeply connected. To protect both, treat irregular heart rhythms. Follow up on heart tests. Take blood thinners if prescribed. Don't skip cardiology appointments. A healthy heart means steady blood flow to the brain. Take a moment to like, subscribe, and share where you're watching from. Every click helps spread this health guidance to others, and it could make a real difference in someone's life. 3. Eat for brain health. You don't need extreme diets. Focus on fruits and vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, healthy fats like nuts, seeds, and fish. Limit excess salt, sugary drinks, processed foods, trans fats. Food is not just fuel, it's information for your body. 4. Move your body daily. Physical activity improves circulation, blood pressure, cholesterol levels, blood sugar control. You don't need intense workouts. Even daily walking, light stretching, simple home exercises can reduce stroke risk significantly. 5. Quit smoking and limit alcohol intake. Smoking dramatically increases stroke risk. Quitting improves blood vessel health, lowers blood pressure, réduit l'inflammation. Alcohol should be consumed in moderation or avoided if advised by your doctor. 6. Manage diabetes and blood sugar. Stable blood sugar protects blood vessels. If you have diabetes, monitor regularly. Follow dietary guidance. Take medication as prescribed. Don't ignore high readings. Good control reduces long-term damage. 7. Prioritize sleep and stress management. Poor sleep and chronic stress quietly raise stroke risk. Helpful habits include regular sleep schedule, reducing screen time before bed, relaxation technique, breathing exercises, short breaks during the day. Your nervous system needs rest to heal. Let's quickly recap the 8 mini-stroke warning signs. Face drooping, arm or leg weakness, slurred or difficult speech, sudden vision problems, dizziness or balance issues, confusion or trouble understanding, severe, unexplained headache, sudden numbness or tingling on one side. Even one of these, lasting only minutes, requires attention. A mini-stroke is not something to fear. It is something to respect. It is your body's warning system doing its job. Ignoring it is dangerous. Listening to it can be life-saving. If this video helped you, share it with someone you love, especially parents, grandparents, or friends over 40. You never know whose life it might save. And remember, when it comes to strokes, time is brain. Thank you for watching. If you found this information helpful, please like the video, subscribe for more health-focused content, and turn on notifications so you never miss important updates. Stay informed, stay proactive, and take care of your brain. It carries your entire life.